At last we meet, face to face. Please have a look around. There's lots to see here. She's so cute. Oh, she's like, wait. Okay, no, I thought she was like linked up to that, but no, she's like, look at that, like a celestial cloak. Wow, you're pretty. What a cool character. Goodness, I haven't even introduced myself yet. I'm Alathea, and this is my humble workspace. That looks like jazzy, y'all. It's jazzy. And you are? I'm still trying to figure that out. Maybe you can tell me. Did the scan give you any clues? Well then, is that some kind of joke? Remember, the only reason I collected that data was to determine if you were dangerous. The scanner just analyzes your physical composition. It can't read mine, so don't worry. Your secrets are safe. But wait, are you serious? You really have no idea who you are? Pretty much. Got a few leads, but I'm still piecing them together. Fascinating. I'm trying to imagine what that would be like. This station I built, the work I do here. These things anchor me and remind me who I am. Without them, I'm not sure what I'd do. Anyway, I'm glad you've made some progress. You said you wanted to know more about the lab, correct? Might I ask why you're interested? This place is totally unique. I want to know more about who made it. I was hoping I might learn something more about myself or the ocean. Let's learn about you. Well, I certainly appreciate that. As it happens, I've been trying to unravel the mysteries of our world for a long time. That's why I built the station. It's a home base where I can conduct my studies. I'm doing some research now that might interest you. In fact, feel free to ask me about anything. All right, well, tell me about your research. I'd be glad to. Not long ago, my instruments picked up some energy signals I didn't recognize. These signals were coming from the deep ocean, hundreds of fathoms below the lab. Shortly afterward, a cloud of strange organic debris appeared in the mid-sea's water. I took some samples of the debris right away. I've been eager to study these samples and see whether they're connected to the signals somehow, but sadly, I've been too swamped lately. Short on time for this project, maybe I can help. Nonsense, we've only just met. I can't put you out like that. Although, do you know Amar by any chance? Oh, the twins, Ketri and Essie? Yeah, I know all three of them. Good, I've done various kindnesses for them in the past, and they all owe me favors. They were supposed to help me around the lab, but none of them have bothered to show up yet. At any rate, I could use an assistant on my current project, so perhaps you could speak to one of them for me. Doesn't matter who, it's a very simple task. Is that something I could entrust to you? Sure, no problem. Excellent! Very much appreciated. Once you're able to convince someone, send them directly here. They'll know where to find me. Sounds good. Want to talk about something else? Certainly! Have you seen the big pod in the moss cavern? Yes, I've seen the strange pod. It's a fascinating thing. It even seems alive, doesn't it? I'd like to examine it further, but I've been reluctant to disturb it. I found out there's a little bug called Lutra that was living inside it. Really? That sounds remarkable. Would you say it seems safe to go there now? Could I take a few samples in that area of the caves without worrying? Lutra seems totally harmless to me. It'll be fine. Excellent! I'm going to make a few preparations and then I'll be off. Thanks for the information. No problem. Want to talk about something else? Certainly. Tell me about the glowing sheet floating above the station. Yeah, like it's like solar cells maybe? Oh yes! That is my solar sail. Have you wondered what provides this station with power? The answer is the sun! The sail is made of a flexible material covered in solar cells. The top of the sail has a negative charge, while the bottom has a positive charge. When sunlight hits the sail, the resulting reaction creates a flow of electricity between the two layers. Then, all I have to do is tap into that flow to power everything. Voila! I see. But there's my sunlight down here. How does that affect all of this? Good question. That's the challenge I was facing. Believe it or not, this station can move. I can raise it to the water surface or submerge it as necessary. At the surface, it's easy to capture lots of sunlight. But the deeper you go, the darker it gets, right? So I experimented with many different sail materials to harness solar energy more efficiently. But that wasn't enough. I also had to develop high-capacity batteries to store the power I generate at the surface where sunlight is plentiful. Come to think of it, my station is a bit like a whale. It can dive to impressive depths, but it has to return to the surface periodically to recharge. That's amazing! My pleasure. Shall we discuss something else then? Tell me about the huge telescope. Oh, the telescope. It's got a way of catching the eye, doesn't it? As you may have noticed, the bottom of the lab has a metal housing to keep the telescope safe. There's a switch down there you can use to open or close it. Give it a try sometimes. As for its purpose, I built the telescope to see faraway things above the surface more clearly. But I wanted to try scanning the seafloor with it as well. It's hard to travel too deep because of the water pressure. Much safer to view it all from here. I see. But how do you see what's at the seafloor when it's so dark down there? Exactly! That's the problem I had to solve. Of course, you can't see it all without light. But I was curious whether anything on the seafloor might be giving off just a tiny bit, less than my eyes would see even with the magnification. So I outfitted the telescope with a system to pick up light, convert it to electricity, then amplify it before turning it back into an image. And that did the trick. There is something down in the depths that projects halos of light. They're very faint, but they are there. I have no idea what the source is. Still looking into it. Sounds mysterious. I'll keep at it. Shall we discuss something else then? How did you build this place? Believe me, it's been an arduous process. The final result's impressive though, isn't it? It even impresses me sometimes. But the station wasn't always as it is now. It's in a constant, never-ending state of refinement. And the most important tool of all is my fabricator. You may have seen it already. It's the golden structure built on the rocks above the water surface. Yeah! It's what allows me to manufacture my creations with such precision, including the lab itself. I see. All right, how does the fabricator work? It can just make something from nothing, right? Okay. You're on the right track. Here's how it works. The fabricator requires source materials. When I'm on expeditions in the ocean, I'm always looking for new things to feed it. Organics, rocks, metals. It can break down just about anything and reconstitute it. I also provide it with schematics so it knows how to build what I have in mind. Then I just fit the parts together and make sure they all work as intended. Sometimes they don't. No catastrophic failures yet, thankfully. That's incredible. I've never heard of anything like that. Why, thank you. Shall we discuss something else then? I have to go. I'll see you around. We'll talk later then. Farewell. Oh my gosh, she is adorable. Can I sit? Oh, I can spin it. That's cute. Yeah, let's look around her room. This is neat. I totally need to take a screenshot of that lady and send it to Jazzy. Because that is like so a Jazzy character. They're like, look at her like little glasses. It's Jazzy. It's so great. That's so cute. Okay. Oh, and there's the other teleporter. That's her newer version. She talked about that. Neat. Okay. Oh, that's a cool gyroscope looking deal. Okay, wait. What was that little thing? What's that? Oh, it's a fern. Okay, cool. All right. Now I can't look at this, I assume. I'm assuming later I'll get to once we kind of do a couple of these missions. So I need to go and figure out who I want to make her assistant be. Could be the twins or it could be Amar. To be honest, I'd probably trust the twins a little bit more if it were me. But both of them are reckless. I think Amar... I feel like Amar would be the one to make a mistake and then give up on something, whereas I feel like the twins would apologize and try and do better. Like, they kind of keep each other a little more in check. I'm just looking through these doors just to see if there's anything I've missed so far. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Okay. Dude, this place is so cute. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, you know what? Let's go see... Whoa. Where you at, Whale? Cobalt? I want to say hi to you. Can I talk to you? Because there's a friend. Look at that. It's so a tuxedo. You're wearing a tuxedo. That's adorable. I'd love to talk to you because I saw, like, your friend. I wonder if I can go tell him to come back to the Midseas. Let's head to talk to somebody. Let's go talk to... let's talk to Lutra first. Because I don't have to make the decision yet. I can still let it ruminate. Let it kind of bounce around in my noggin. Oh, she's here! Where's Lutra? Hey, bud. I want to talk to you first. I'll talk to her after that, but I want to know how you're doing. Because now you're inside, which makes me worried. Hey, what's wrong?
This one missed familiar one.
I'm here now. Did something happen?
Strange new one is in cave. New one brought device. Device using one came here to take things. Device using one is taking things now.
The device using one is a friend of mine. She's not here to hurt anyone. She wants to learn about them. She's my friend.
Familiar one trusts device using one?
Yes, I do. I think I do.
This one lacks familiar one's certainty. After taking things, device using one approached this one. Device using one used strange machine. This one could not move. This one was not asked first. This one had a very great fear. Many lights appeared, moved back and forth. This one could not struggle. could not leave.
I'm sorry, bud.
Then over.
She should have asked first.
This one could move again, so went inside pod.
I'm so sorry. Did you say anything?
No, nothing to say. Too much fear.
Made a mistake. She didn't mean any harm, and you don't have to worry. I'll talk to her about this and make sure it doesn't happen again. She didn't mean harm.
These words, not enough for this one. What way does familiar one know truth of device using one? Maybe device using one, not what familiar one believes.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Dang it, I messed that up. I shouldn't be so trusting. That's what I'm learning. Like, I need to be a little more cautious. This one stays in pod until device using one is gone. I'm sorry, bud.
Strange device using one still here. This one waits until they are gone.
You better apologize. All right, looks like I'm about ready to head back. Shall we meet again at the lab? Can you tell me what happened between you and Lutra? Lutra? Oh, the little larva, yes. I took a scan of it, just as I did with you when we first met. Did you have any questions about that? Are you aware how much you scared it? It told me it was terrified. Terrified? Wait a moment, it told you that? The larva can talk? That's astonishing. I never would have guessed. That's not the point. What you did was very hurtful. Make sure it doesn't happen again. It's amazing, but the problem is that you scared Lucia badly. You should have asked first. Yes, it was a regretful accident. Scanning life forms, including animals, is standard procedure for me in new places. If they appear capable of speech, I always ask for their permission. In this case, I had no indication the larva could communicate. I'm surprised it was so upset, though. The scanning process should be completely painless. Lucia was frightened because it couldn't move and didn't understand what was happening. I suppose that makes sense. I'm sorry this happened, my friend. Perhaps I could develop a quick scanning device that wouldn't require the subject to remain still so long. Until then, I will exercise more care. But for now, I must go back to the lab. See you shortly. All right, Lutra. I'm so sorry she hurt you and scared you.
Familiar one speaks thoughts together again.
Oh.
Furry one showed this one futures with words only. This one thinks in new ways because of furry one. Fondness, happiness.
I see. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Ugh, I feel so bad for Lutra. I need to protect this little baby. Oh, he's so innocent. So innocent. I'm sorry, bud. All right. Well, now you're getting Amar as an assistant. He'll give you a run for his money. And I don't, honestly, here's what I'm thinking now. She acts before thinking. So she needs someone like Amar to be her assistant who is gonna stand up for himself if he doesn't feel happy about what's going on. You know what I mean? That's how I feel Amar works. Sup, bro? Amar! Hey, how's it going, friend? Just making the rounds, keeping an eye out for tasty meals. Let's head back to the Grove. It's quieter there. How did you like spending time with the twins recently? It was fun. I'm glad you suggested it. The kids are the same as ever. Always sticking to the rules. Don't know if they'll ever be able to beat me, honestly. They're still not crafty enough, right? You should show them how to bend the rules better. No. Why not tell them a story instead? Maybe you could teach them something. There you go. I don't know, friend. That sounds like a lot of effort to me. Besides, what makes you think the kids are going to listen? They just want to play games. They're not looking for a lesson from me. What if you played a game with them first, then told them the story after that? You know, that just might work. All right, I'll go play another game with them. Then I'll tell them what it's like taking care of the kelp forest out here. I think that'll make for a good lesson. Maybe I'll be able to inspire them, huh? That's the spirit, Amar. Good luck. Want to talk about something else? Sure thing. You said you know Alathea, right? She's looking for some help around the lab. Oh, yeah, of course. She's always super busy. It doesn't surprise me she'd be looking for volunteers. I was thinking you'd be a good candidate to help her out. Me? Seriously? What does she need help with anyway? She wants you to help her analyze some samples of a material she found. Huh, that's not really my specialty, friend. What about you? You're probably better with that stuff than me. Time to know the first thing about all those crazy gadgets of hers. Wouldn't it be fun to learn about the lab? I'm sure Alathea will show you the ropes. Alathea told me you owed her some favors. That's why she wants your help. Let's try this. Well, to be honest, Alethea's lab is not my kind of place. The water's so dark and cold out there, and I don't like being near all that weird, shiny stuff. Huh. Interesting. It'll be an adventure thinking about the stories. This is one of those instances where I feel like if I keep pushing him, he's going to get mad. He's going to be like, look, I told you. And the twins seem to actually like dark places. Let's talk about something else. Sure thing. Let's go now. Okay, so we're gonna keep this one as a maybe. Let's go talk to the twins, because the twins kind of like dark places. They kind of like hiding away, and they might be searching for information on how to get back to their home, is what it seems like they're interested in. So maybe they'll appreciate it. Oh, new friend. We didn't know you were coming by. Did you need something? Can you tell me about that portal? What's it for? Well, it's a way we have of seeing the palace where we came from. It's not a portal. We can't use it to go back there. I think we're done with it now, though. Let's do something else, new friend. Have you seen Amar again lately? Yeah, Amar came by to see us and hang out again. They asked what we wanted to play, and we said hide and seek. We were really good at that. And the coral reef's great for hiding, too. Amar said they would try not to cheat, just like last time. And they told us some tips to win without breaking any rules. They had some really good ideas for hiding spots. I wonder how come they know so many. It was pretty fun. And we almost beat Amar. They only won one more round than us. After hide and seek, they told us how they help things in the forest. It was kind of boring. I think it was like they eat lots of things that eat the kelp, so the forest, I don't remember the whole thing. Yeah, whatever. We listened to be nice, though. Sounds like fun. And you came close to beating Amar. That's exciting. Thanks, new friend. We won't lose again. Yep, we've got Amar next time. I was paying close attention to their weaknesses. Also, we're really happy to get to spend time with you and Amar so much. Yeah, so thanks again for talking to Amar a while ago. So all this stuff could happen. Yay! Anytime. Want to talk about something else? Okay, like what? Do you remember Alathea? She's looking for some help around the lab. Yeah, we know her. We've been to her lab a couple times. Guess she's doing some new experiments, huh? Yep, I thought you two would be good candidates to help her out. Oh, why us? This isn't the kind of thing we're normally into. Alathea asked for you two by name, actually. I was impressed. Huh? Really? That's cool. So what does she want us to do? She wants to help her analyze some samples of a material she found. Doesn't sound like fun to me. Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of boring stuff. Alathea doesn't want to do herself. It's gonna be a bunch of boring stuff Alathea doesn't want to do herself, isn't it? No way! Think about all the fun equipment in the lab you'll get to learn about. I don't want to talk about the favors thing just yet. Huh? Yeah, that's true. She didn't want us touching anything before, but if we're gonna help out with an experiment, she has to let us. Oh yeah! Good point! There's a thing in there that makes stuff get hot real fast. Maybe we'll get to use that one. Okay, new friend. We'll go see Alathea at the lab sometime soon. Cool! I want to ask you about someone. Like who? How do you feel about Lutra? We still feel pretty bad. Go back and say hi. I have to go. See you around. Okay. So we can go back and talk to Alil. We can also talk to Alathea. I'm curious what Alil has to say. Oh, maybe I can ask him about Alathea. That's probably what it is. Hey, how goes it? Looking to chat for a bit? So I spoke to Amar about how to give Ketri and Esty some advice. Oh yeah? How did it go? Well, Amar had the idea to tell the twins what it's like taking care of the kelp forest. I thought it'd be a good lesson for them. Right, gotcha. And do you think they listened? I'm not sure. When I spoke to them afterward, it seemed like they kind of blew him off. Sometimes kids don't seem to be paying attention, but I think it's good if they hear the right things anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Maybe Amar was a little too straightforward about it, you know? Sometimes an embellished story that wraps your idea in something more exciting is the best way to go. Not that I'm an expert or anything. Let's talk about the crown. I want to ask you about the gods. Sure, what about them? I want to know what one of the gods is thinking. What about Alathea? Alathea is very dedicated to her research, right? And that's putting it lightly. Sometimes it's to the point where I wonder if she's really thinking about the long-term effects of her studies. I get it. She wants to find answers. More than anyone else in the ocean, probably. That's admirable, but there's also such a thing as taking your work too far. Anything else you want to ask about? I want to know how much one of the gods likes me. Lutra. Is he mad now? He likes you quite a bit. I'm not sure it even gets what friendship is, but seems like whatever you got going is the Lutra equivalent. Anything else you want to ask about? Which one do you think is going to create the world? Let me think about that. If I were to guess, I'd put my money on Ketri and Esti or Lutra. Okay, Lutra's still up there. I just don't want him to be so mad at me. I'm all set. Okay, I think that's all for now. See you around. All right, till next time, buddy. I don't want to make the crown until I have all the pages. I don't know if you have to wait, but I want to wait regardless. Okay. Well, then let's head on over. There's still a page I'm missing. Wait a minute. Could be up here. No, I guess not. I'm still salty about not having this page. Like, I want to look around for it again. I'm gonna do another circuit. What can I say? Your boy is fixated. Could it be in here? Ah, yeah, baby! There we go. Oh, that makes me feel a lot better. Okay, here we go. Turning point, Arrow 1, Section 3. The Creator and I watch the mortals wage war. The technology is advanced enough now that a large-scale conflict could destroy the world. When they govern themselves, this is the result, the Creator says. It's time to intervene. Yikes. All right, we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing 6 pages. Okay. But we haven't even been to that zone yet, so I'm not concerned about that. Oh, that helps me. I was just so fixated on that, so I'm glad we found it. Okay. Off to Alathea. I always forget, like, to check the surfaces inside areas. All right. What's up, Alathea? Good to see you again. Anything you'd like to talk about? How'd the lab work go? Very nicely! Better than I'd hoped, even. The first task was to compare the samples I found recently to others I've collected. I needed my assistants to view them all under a microscope and note any differences. The twins were unexpectedly eager. They asked to see some of my own sample notes so they'd know how it was done. After that, they did quite well. I reviewed their comparisons, and I may need to double-check a few things, but that's all right. The second task was a bit trickier, but I felt the twins were up for it as long as I was supervising. I needed the samples exposed to various external influences such as heat, cold, and electricity, with careful notes taken on the results, of course. They were even more excited for this part, Esti especially so. I took the notes for them so they could concentrate on safe procedure, but everything got done a lot faster with their help. Thanks for making this happen, my friend. No problem, Alathea. Glad to hear things went smoothly. Indeed. Shall we talk about something else? Have you examined your samples from the Moss Cavern yet? Yes, I've looked at them closely, and I must say, the results have changed many of my basic assumptions about the ocean. But first, let me thank you for helping me understand Lutra better. I'll be thinking differently about how to approach unfamiliar life forms in the future. Now then, would you like to hear about my findings? Yes, please. Excellent! Let's start with the basics. All those odd fern-like plants growing near Lutra's pod are very unusual. I can't stress that enough. The fern cells have more in common with the pod than anything else in the ocean. I suspect the pod somehow created the ferns, possibly via waterborne spores. That makes sense. There were ferns inside the pod too, but Lutra had to leave because they stopped growing. Yes, exactly! I did see the remains of many well-eaten ferns in the pod. So if the pod, the ferns, and even Lutra have so little in common with other life in the ocean, my hypothesis is that they all came from somewhere else. Another planet, perhaps? Another world? I don't know how that's possible, but I can't think of a better explanation. Wow, I never considered that. Amazing, isn't it? But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear what I discovered about Lutra itself. Shall I explain? Yes, please go on. Very good. I think you'll find this quite fascinating. As you know, Lutra is capable of telepathic communication. So far, this seems to be a one-way thing. It can speak to us, but it can't read our minds. However, the data I gathered suggests the parts of Lutra's brain that granted this power are underdeveloped. They're likely to grow substantially at some point, and who knows what it'll be capable of then. That's exciting. I agree. I'm excited to see what happens with this strange creature. Finally, here's the last tidbit, and it's a doozy. Within its body, Lutra has what we call imaginal cells. These cells will one day transform into new body parts as Lutra takes on a different form. In other words, Lutra is meant to undergo metamorphosis, which isn't too surprising. But it gets weirder. These imaginal cells of Lutra seem to be in a constant state of shifting and changing. I have no idea what to make of this. Maybe there are many different things it could turn into, depending on its environment. Your guess is as good as mine, Alathea. Better, probably. No, my guesses are very well informed, it's true. Oh my gosh, that is so adorable. Thank you for listening, my friend. It is a joy sharing these findings with someone else. Anytime. Want to talk about something else? Certainly. All right. We'll talk later then. Farewell.